I think of one who is ocean of peace, ocean of love, ocean of bliss. And in this remembrance of one, I experience inner comfort, security, assurance that we all belong to one, but somewhere souls in the world have lost the path. So they are wandering in peacelessness and sorrow. Now, through the rays of God and our good wishes, we give the direction so that souls can follow the path of purity, path of love, path of peace, so that there is transformation in the world, so that the world of peace and love is created, where there is no fear. Everyone is happy, have contentment. So through our good feelings and vibrations, we spread these vibrations of peace, joy, contentment, feelings of love and care for everyone. So I receive from Baba and then I share with others.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 23rd. Soul consciousness, a drop of awareness 5 times a day. Mature as a world server, entertaining, cheerful, tolerant, and content. Natural dharna, constant and continuous. Now we'll be listening to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti. Yes, we remember during day while doing actions that our stability is when I am joyful. Mm. Was it easy? Right? To be joyful is easier, no, than to be sad, right? And all entertaining all the time. How to change anything which is not positive into positive, or any once in a while some seriousness come, how to change it into lightness. This which we have to do constantly during day, so that even if there is little situation, it disappears instead of becoming big. Yeah. So for that, we lovingly tolerate it. But tolerance here is because I want to maintain good atmosphere for yagya. And I want to see that all the time there are good vibrations in the yagya. So I adjust, I tolerate, right? And actually, I know there was a time I used to have a lot of difficulty with tolerance. Mhm. But once Baba said, you are doing it for me because you are my child. So you always want to respond in a way which is more as a godly child. And then you glorify me. Mhm. So whatever various scenes of drama come when there is tolerance, then internally we feel very happy, victorious, and past becomes past very quickly. And then you find a lot of contentment. So that's called a mature stage or stable stage. And today we are talking about how to be consistent or constant in Brahmin life. It's quite a long journey, right? Some of you 20 years, 25 years. I had been on journey over 60 years. Even there is a song which during Brahma Baba we used to play. Mm. This is the path where there are ups and downs. But that is past now, right? Because it's only when we are consistent that you can progress. No? But if I go up, then down, up and down, then I cannot really go fast or progress. So have determination that internally, whether it is remembrance of Baba or enthusiasm, is consistent. And for that, it is important to keep applying the knowledge. Baba is ocean of knowledge. There is unlimited knowledge. Because every time I apply knowledge, it opens little more secret within the knowledge. more depth in the knowledge. I contemplate on knowledge and then I apply knowledge. Immediately there is some other point emerges, then another emerges. Even if you take one point of applying drama, every time you apply drama, some a very fresh dimension or new aspect of knowledge of drama reveals. And that is where the contemplation or reflection happens. If I am not using knowledge, you will not have any reflection forward. It's when you apply, then you see how did it work, what are the benefits, what did I attain. That's reflection. And that is where my faith also in knowledge increases. Generally, it is said that knowledge is light, ignorance is darkness. So, how do I use knowledge as light? That means for clarity, to find answers, to find solutions. Everything is in the knowledge. When Baba says to become complete, you have to be knowledgeable. And it's quite vast, knowledge, even if we say for weekend or 7 days course, but we had been listening to Murlis. Every time you listen to Murli, something deeper is understood. Even when we listen to Avek Bapdada, you have to read every sentence few times to understand. I find that even little sentence, I have to really read it again and say what Baba is saying. So to be consistent in our stage, that is stable and consistent, use the light of knowledge. And yoga is called might, power. When I understand, I know, I connect with Baba, I get power. So when Baba says, become lighthouse and might house, so what is to be light and what is to be might is knowledge and yoga. Actually, you should practice and sit and see. In this stage of lighthouse, might house. And third, they say that light and might, knowledge and yoga changes into virtues. That is called dharna. When there is good yoga, there is good dharna. If I am in remembrance of Baba, yes, I will experience there is patience, there's sweetness. I am able to be lovely. I can be detached. So our virtues are not necessarily only coming from sanskars. Let's say since childhood, if there had been a situation where I had to be tolerant. But that tolerance is not according to knowledge and yoga. Because in that tolerance, sometimes you are uh, subservient. But knowledge, based on knowledge and yoga, the virtues are accurate and proper virtues. Sometimes you might be tolerating things which you might not need to be tolerating. Mhm. Sometimes patience or mercy, especially mercy, you start feeling merciful or you're very kind, and then you find you are trapped. Mhm. So that is why yoga, and yoga also based on knowledge, you understand Baba's knowledge, then you practice knowledge, apply it. So your intellect is very clear, and then you are able to connect with Baba properly. Proper yoga, good yoga. When intellect is very, very clear. When intellect is clear, you think of Baba, get very, very clear answers from Baba. And that second, if I need any power, you will feel that you have that power thinking of Baba. So what we have to look at, that whole day I am a knowledgeful soul, I am a yogi soul. So I have light, might, and I have all the virtues. And that will make everything consistent. Because sometimes it's just you are not aware, but some energy, some energy could come and you find you are not today very up in good energy or enough energy. Sometimes suddenly find there is no enthusiasm. So some of these subtle influences can fluctuate our stage because there is so much from the past, so much connection with all the souls. Mm. Even in relationship, a lot of memories are left. If I have been pleasant, I have been good, when souls think of me, I will get good feelings. But if I hadn't been, then even their thoughts can affect my stage. That is why I have to be what I am, right? I cannot be what others, mm, looking at others. That is why tolerance or contentment is my personal property, and I need to have them. So, this way, definitely all the time you are really focused on the self efforts. So, how to be consistent, how to be constant in our stage, and of course, this will be on our efforts too. So, this way, body will cooperate, everything around you will be cooperating you. Baba is looking at us. He wants us to be complete, right? And we will become complete by paying attention that I have to be consistent and constant. So think about it and then we reflect more. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Good evening. Good evening. So our journey continues for a few more days. Journey of practicing drops of awareness of soul consciousness, Nyara Pyara. And this week we are continuing with becoming Nyara from our sanskars and swabhav nature, right? So I think we all are beginning to love these words, swa and bhav and bhavna and swabhav. Yes, nature. So today was a day to practice stability, and it was interesting that Sister Mohini brought this point. I don't think I have heard this before or even experienced it before. The more you're joyful, light, entertaining, easier it is to be stable, which makes so much sense, right? Just because it's like a very positive energy and it just keeps you way on the top. So it keeps you stable. It doesn't allow you to come down. So it's almost like a momentum that has built up, momentum of positive energy. And anything happening around, you don't fluctuate with it. So stability comes with that. And she very beautifully shared her experience of tolerance, right? That it's not an easy virtue for many of us. But the reason why we are doing it, and we are doing it very lovingly in some instances, we have to. And the reason we are doing it is because we want to protect or we want to maintain good vibrations in the yagya. And it's because it's what Baba wants me to do. It's one of Baba's directions for me to be loving, to be tolerating, to be content, to be understanding, and all of that. So, all in all, this is creating our mature and stable stage. So, I'm sure we are all becoming good checkers and changers, makers, as Radhi Gulzar recently said, checkers and makers both, right? So again, today is our quality of dharna, but also natural dharna. And people look at us as Brahmins, and I think within a very short time, they're able to notice so many changes in us. Not only the white dress and the way we eat, but also lots of our qualities and virtues change. And that's one of the things I think that attracts people. And the way Baba makes that happen, as we know, in a natural way, is starting with knowledge. And again, we heard today how that really is the key. We start with understanding of knowledge, applying of knowledge, where we understand more the depth of knowledge, then we get to reflect. If I apply knowledge this way, this is what happens. It is beneficial for me, it's beneficial for others. And my faith and knowledge then increases too. So it's a step by step. I think everybody can retrace your steps, as you came to Baba and started practicing and applying these steps. Knowledge is really light, showing you a whole different path ahead of you. And of course, it brings lots of solutions, it brings lots of clarity, answers, and knowledge also as might, because we are able to transform knowledge into yoga, remembrance of Baba. So understanding, knowing, but then also connecting with Baba, the powerhouse, the might house. And so practice, 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 both in terms of applying knowledge as well as using the knowledge in terms of yoga. So, so light and might together, Sister Mohini says, this brings all the virtues. And this is what makes us consistent. So if we stop before the final step of all the virtues, practicing the virtues and checking our virtues and changing our virtues, somewhere we become disheartened or we go on for some time and then we stop. So dharna really comes from that deep combination of light and might, that comes from knowledge. So understanding this whole process very nicely. And then, of course, to be aware that even though we may be virtuous, but is it according to knowledge? Is it according to what Baba is teaching me? Is it based on yoga? So a lot of focus on self-efforts. So today we are going to be practicing consistent stage, natural dharna stage, jnani stage, yogi stage. And so, okay. So this is our practice for tomorrow. I am a living being of light, seated on my lotus throne. My swa, self, is elevated. My bhav, intention, is clean. My swabhav, nature, of being jnani and yogi, makes me an embodiment of dharna naturally. The natural nature and sanskars of my Brahmin life is to be constant and continuous. So I'll read that again. I am a living being of light, seated on my lotus throne. My self, swa, is elevated. My bhav, intention, is clean. My swabhav, nature, of being jnani and yogi makes me an embodiment of dharna naturally. The natural nature and sanskars of my Brahmin life is to be constant and continuous. So there is one word that we use, attention, all the time, that there is a constant attention. But I was also thinking for something to be natural, our interests have to change also. So deep within, as we grow with knowledge and yoga, I think our interest changes too. So there is a natural attraction to, say, for example, deal with problems in a jnani way, rather than look for, other things. But really, what is the jnani solution to this situation, this problem, or whatever I'm facing? So I think it's a deep interest that, is aroused inside. And of course, our capacity to do that also increases as we practice more jnani and yogi ways of, doing things in life. So it's again, it's a very beautiful word, natural dharna. It's not a forced dharna. It's not a helpless dharna, but it's a very natural progression. And again, it comes from that consistency. As Sister Mohini was saying, that the only way you can progress is if you are consistent, because there are all the time subtle influences from different directions, even from our own past, memories, relationships, whatever. So we need to be so consistent and constant in paying attention, but also develop deep interest in Gyan and yoga and what Baba is saying. And the question to ask as I was taking notes is really the interest to know what is Baba saying. Of course, it's very easy to read through the Murli and the lines of the Murli, but asking this question again and again, what is Baba saying? And especially what is he saying to me? So that interest, I think, should be there too, right? So I want to know if Sister Mohini would like to add something.
Mhm. Baba has told us, we read in Baba's Murli about how to be consistent yogi and consistent server. And actually, that is only possible if I'm a karma yogi, because 24 hours we are using body. Karma yogi is not only when I am cooking or I am cleaning or doing something, but using body itself is action. Right? When I wake up in the morning, each one of us, we think of Baba and we sit and we do proper Amrit Vela. So I'm doing, that's also action. So every minute, every time, all the time, I'm using body, that means I'm doing actions. Right? And if I'm doing in remembrance, it's very, very interesting if have noticed that when you are about to wake up and get out of bed and you sit for a few moments, remember Baba, and then you come out of bed. And then, of course, you're doing Amrit Vela. But then if you're drinking something, everyone has different time, but we drink something, I can do that in remembrance of Baba. So whatever action I'm doing, even I remember that how Shiva, Brahma Baba, uh, while bathing used to say, I'm bathing the chariot of Shiva Baba. And remembrance, like Baba, Brahma Baba, in always with every simple action. So it will be consistent if we pay attention. Am I remembering Baba now while doing this? Mhm. So there will be lot of energy, and you will experience Baba also as Karan Karavanhar. Deeply, deeply you will find how Baba inspires you. He gives you the strength. He gives you the direction. And that is where, even while remembering doing actions, you will really feel very joyful, very happy. So to be consistent means to be a karma yogi. It's not I say only these actions I will remember Baba and other actions I will just do. Very, very simple. Uh, As I said, even the routine of the day is actions, right? You are cutting vegetables, it's action. It's not only cooking is action, right? And then cutting vegetables doesn't need a lot of concentration. Right? So simple actions, what I find that if I pay attention on doing very simple actions in remembrance of Baba, you are even washing pots, rolling chapati, any action. So this will also make it consistent. And also in that all the actions, some kind of service is involved. Because first thing is, if I'm doing actions in remembrance, then I am being served. My past is erasing. Through remembrance, a lot of creativity will come, enthusiasm will come. So action definitely give me the reward. But if I'm doing in remembrance of Baba, my internal state will be consistent. I like this aspect very much, and I had been noticing, at least in many actions, I just remember Baba. And today I realize that how every email, every message I get, we just need good wishes. Can you give Baba's our love remembrance? Just send some sakash. Nobody wants anything else, only that. So it's not one can sit for hours, but accumulate while doing actions, creating fortune through actions and creating power through remembrance of Baba. So being a karma yogi is the easiest way to be consistent, where you can, within few seconds, send good wishes, which helps the soul, protects the soul. And then what I receive from Baba, then I give to others also. So this way we can be very consistent and also very stable. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to a Vyakti Journey Night Class. Jewels of knowledge that touch the heart.
Hello, सदस्य चक्रधारी जमा कुलभूषणों को हम मत बनवासियों की नमस्ते।
पैसे को भी जेवर वगैरह बैंक में रखा जाता है ना सेफ्टी के लिए, ठीक है। जो ब्राह्मण है बच्चे, वो जैसे कि सेफ्टी में है। किसके बैंक में पड़े हुए हैं? शिव बाबा के बैंक में। तुम बहुत सेफ है। तुम कहेंगे वाह शिव, क्या ये सब तुम मरने वाले हैं? तो बाबा कहते हैं तुम सभी मरने वाले हैं, तुम तो अमर बनते हो ना, समझे नहीं? बाबा के सेफ में पास रह करके तुम अमर बनते हो। तुम्हारे लिए कोई नहीं कहेंगे कि ये मरे नहीं। हम लोग कभी मृत्यु लोक में जाते हैं ना, तो इसलिए हम काल के ऊपर भी विजय पहन रहे हैं। तो जितने हम सेफ है, इतने से दुनिया में उस सेफ्टी को कोई जानते भी नहीं है। हाँ, इतना जरूर है कि सेफ तो बन गए, शिव बाबा का बन गए, सेफ तो बन गए। बाकी है वहाँ ऊंचे पद पाने के पुरुषार्थ हुआ, नहीं तो सेफ तो हो गए बिल्कुल ही। अमर लोग के जैसे मालिक बन गए। और तुमको यहाँ मनुष्य को तो फिक्र होगा ना बच्चे, जिनके पास हजारों लाखों करोड़ों रुपए हैं, यहाँ वहाँ कहाँ न कहाँ। अभी वो तो बेचारे नहीं जानते हैं कि हमारे इन करोड़ों का पद में है बच्ची, पद्मपति भी है। इतने शाहूकार है, पद्मपति भी है। हाँ, पद्म में कितने करोड़ होते हैं तुमको मालूम है बच्ची? हाँ हाँ, 100 करोड़। तो लोगों उनके पास है, तो जितनी जिसके पास धन दौलत माया जमीन, उसको वो याद जरूर रहते हैं, उसका नशा रहते हैं। और जिनके पास अभी कुछ नहीं है, उनके पास फिर जैसे कि सब कुछ है, वो उस पुण्य में ही रहते हैं, बचा के जमा करने के, फलाना करके तेरे करने के। तो वो कितने करोड़ रुपए है तो जास्ती उनको अंतजारी रहते हैं। या पैसा दिया है, पता नहीं क्या होगा। आगे चल के जब लड़ाई लगेगी ना जास्ती जोर से, तो वैसे सारे जन पाओगे गए सब कुछ। नीचे हो तो कुछ है नहीं, दे भी नहीं है हमारी, वो भी हम दे दिया बाबा को, उसके बदले में हमने सौदा कर लिया बाबा से। ये दे करके सब कुछ हमने बाबा से सौदा कर लिया। कब के लिए? दूसरे जन्म के लिए। बस कोई दूर जाते नहीं है, इसमें कोई 100-200 बरस नहीं लगा ना, दूसरे जन्म में तो हमने सौदा किया है बाबा से, दूसरे जन्म में। ऐसे भी सौदा किया जाते हैं, दान पुण्य किया जाते हैं दूसरे जन्म के लिए। तो ये तुमने दूसरे जन्म में, परंतु कहाँ जन्म है? जहाँ फिर अमरलोक में तुमने बाबा से बहुत अच्छा सौदा किया है। कि बाबा से सौदा किया है कि हम आपको ये सब दे सब कुछ देते हैं और हम आपसे वहाँ ले लेंगे सब कुछ। तो हम जैसे सेफ हो गए हैं ना बच्चे एकदम, हम दे दिया बाबा को, बाबा के तिजोरी में पड़ गया देर से सब कुछ। और यहाँ बाकी जो शरीर के लिए तो यहाँ आपके पास बहुत ही मिल सकते हैं, तो बाकी थोड़ा समय तो है ही, कोई जास्ती समय तो है नहीं। बच्चों को तो बहुत ही खुशी होनी चाहिए, इसलिए बाबा समझाते हैं नहीं, अतीन्द्रिय सुख पूछना हो, तो भागवत में लिखा हुआ है ना, तो गोपक गोपियों से पूछो। तो सत्योग में थोड़ी कोई से पूछने की दरकार है क्या? वो तो है ही सब, वहाँ तो पूछने की दरकार ही नहीं रहती है। तो देखो इस समय में संगम युग वाले गोप गोपियों से पूछो अति इंद्रिया सुख, क्योंकि इस समय में सबके पास दुख है, सत्योग मां से सबके पास सुख है। तो यहाँ संगम पर कहा जाता है कि गोप गोपियों से पूछो, उनके सुख की बातें पूछो। तो देखो तुम्हारे सुख भी पूछते, बोले वाह हम तो अभी ईश्वर के औलाद बने हैं और उनसे सुख का वर्षा ले रहे हैं, सभी कामनाओं हमारी पूरी हो रही है, सुख के लिए। तो तुम सबसे सौभाग्यशाली ठहरे ना बच्चे। चलो बच्ची बाजा बजाओ।
मैं खुश नसीब हूँ, मुझको किसी का प्यार मिला। मैं खुश नसीब हूँ, मुझको किसी का प्यार मिला। बड़ा हसीन मेरे दिल का राज़दार मिला। मैं खुश नसीब हूँ।
बच्चों माता पिता का याद प्यार और गुड नाइट।
Om Shanti. It's so lovely to go to Madhuban, right? Feel like getting in the plane and reach there. Yes, it will happen, right? We all will go. But this was just to visit Madhuban and feel it. But we will go practically also. Om Shanti and good night, everyone.